Well, thank you all for coming. Have you ever dreamt of doing something really perfect, really well? Have you ever known that if you could get the right concept, the right people in place, you could do something meaningful, something game-changing? Do you believe that if you got the best people working together, the results are going to be fantastic and they'll inspire you to be fantastic as well? For 25 years I've prepared professional athletes for top level competition. Throughout I've worked with some great people: doctors, physios, nutritionists, therapists, athletes, physiologists, and these we brought together to create a performance team. One thing that's very apparent over the last 25 years is that the level of professionalism in the amateur has grown hugely. Amateurs they may be, but they've got the same desire and the same drive to be their best, just as professional in their way. What they lack, however, is time. It's the time to do things, but it's the access to the best people in the business as well, is what they lack. And my dream is to provide those most aspiring, maybe most deserving amateurs with professional preparation. But how do you do this? You do it by bringing together the best people in one bespoke place with dedicated time and with those dedicated clients, athletes. And that's what we're doing with Performance Team. I know as a physio that by having contact with the body for several hours over several days, I can make huge changes to how that person moves, how that person feels, how that person performs. You can make changes in days that takes months of sporadic treatment. And that's what happens at high performance centres and Olympic training camps with the professionals. But why should that be the preserve of the pros? Amateurs work just as hard, they aspire just as much, but they also hold down a full-time job. Think how empowering it is as an athlete to know that, or indeed as a person, to know that every aspect of your health and well-being has been assessed, screened, tested, treated. Imagine having every aspect of your physiology and training analysed so that you know you're as fit and fast and prepared as you possibly can be. How about knowing that just how an Olympian has trained and prepared, and then have them work with you on your preparation? What can you achieve if you don't miss training through a niggly injury or illness because you're as robust and as sound as you possibly can be? Just think how knowing that your fueling is spot on for you, and that you've also learnt to cook all of that yourself. But how as an amateur do you achieve that? So Performance Team is about empowerment and it's about efficiency. I knew that if we could bring the best doctors and the best physios, best nutritionists, physiologists, athletes together in one bespoke place for a short, sharp, in-depth week, we could cover all of this. A full cardiac, blood, VO2 max, breath, respiratory gases, testing and medical screening prior to departure. On camp, 10 hours of physio, 3 hours of medical assessment, 2 hours physiology input, 10 hours of individual coaching, working with the physiologist, 4 hours conditioning work, 3 hours soft tissue recovery work, 4 hours nutritional assessment, all with those global experts in their field. And then having a professional chef prepare your meals and give you cookery lessons. So Performance Team is about having experts dedicated to you in small groups in a perfect setting. There are 2 physios, a doctor, an athlete coach, a physiologist, a massage therapist and a chef all on site. But there's a maximum of 8 clients at any time, plus partners if you wish. That's a huge ratio of staff to client. So who's it for? Well, it's for everybody. We're talking couch to 10k or those seeking a PB in an Ironman or a marathon. Performance team, I think, can make you the best you can be. And that's my dream, is doing preparation perfectly for amateurs. And that's why I set up Performance Team.
Okay, thanks Mark. So I'm Andy and I'm a runner. But when I first started running, what did I have access to help me get better? Nothing. So even when I got to a pretty serious level, I had nothing to help me. I was on my own, I was making things up as I went along, and I made a lot of mistakes. So thankfully I did meet my coach, who's coached me throughout the last 13 years, throughout my professional career. And with him I managed to identify the things I was really good at, my strengths, and my weaknesses too, the things I hated doing, the things he made me do again and again. And between us, we managed to get to a pretty serious level. So I managed to qualify for an Olympic team, I managed to qualify for World Championships. But it was only once I'd already made that level that all of a sudden this help became available to me. So once I was at the Olympics, all of a sudden I had access to this incredible team of physiotherapists, nutritionists, coaches, physiologists, strength and conditioning coaches. And once I had access to them, I could build a team around myself. I could put together all the best people who I trusted, and once I had that trust and I had that team, they were absolutely instrumental in getting me to an Olympic final. And that's reflected in every successful athlete that you'll see interviewed on TV. Not just athlete, any sports person. The first thing they'll say is, I couldn't have been here without my team. I wouldn't have made it this far. And that's obvious when you look at all of our greatest sports stars. You look at Mo Farah, who's travelled halfway across the world to put a team around him that he thought would help him be the best in the world. You've got Andy Murray, how long it's taken him to become the best in the world number one. And he's got this incredible team of people that he's built around him. And that shows you how hard it is to create this incredible team. Because you need a team of people that work seamlessly together, that are brilliant at what they do and have no ego, and they put you, the athlete, the client first. I know from experience how hard it is to put that together, because I've had to do it 2 or 3 times. I had to do it for the Beijing Olympics, and then because as an athlete you're at the you're under the control of the federation. My entire team was dismantled after Beijing when my training centre was closed down. So I had to put another team around myself in London 2012. Then after 2012, I had such a serious injury that obviously they only support you for so long. So then that's when I started working intensely with Mark. I'd known Mark for a long time, but Mark took me from what I'd been told was a career-ending injury back to competing at an elite level and running a sub 4-minute mile. So then what if I could put together this incredible team of people that not only were brilliant at what they do and I knew would work well together, but were as passionate about helping people be better and be the best they possibly can be as I am. And then what if I could take that whole ready-made package and give that to someone? If that's someone who's just starting out and doesn't know where to start, or give that to someone who's looking to run a PB or be a little tiny bit better to make a championship, to get onto the podium for the first time. That's Performance Team. We've done it. We've put together this incredible team of people. I've been to 8 global championships with Team GB, and I've had my every need catered for by the best in the world. But what we're offering is better. Not only do we have a team of people and a level of expertise that until now you couldn't access unless you're on an Olympic team, but also we have the incredible ratio of staff to clients that Mark's talked about. On the Olympic team, or the global championship team for athletics, there were 60 or more athletes and 4 physios. On a performance team camp, there'll be 8 clients as a maximum and 2 physios. So we're calling what we're offering training camps, but they're unique. And I think perhaps training camp does them a little bit of a disservice, because we're not there to help people on our camps run miles and miles and spend hours and hours on the bike. What we're offering is a chance to make meaningful long-term changes to the way that you approach your sport. when I speak at athletes or speak to athletes, or I get asked to speak at events, I get asked so many questions like, how do I know if I'm training hard enough or doing the right training? What training should I do to get better or to run the fastest 5k or 10k or marathon that I can? How do I deal with pre-race nerves before a big event? Do I eat a specific diet? Or do I eat anything in particular in the lead up to a big race? And then what do I think about the latest research into supplements or technology? Should I take beetroot juice immediately before a race? Or what's the latest diet, low carb, high fat? What do I think about that? What we're doing, what performance team are doing, is providing the answers to those questions. And we're providing the answers to those questions and to any other question that an amateur athlete could have. So that's a pretty broad overview of our vision for performance team. And I'll hand back to Mark to give a bit more specifics about our actual services that we're offering.
Thanks, Tony. So there's a huge range of service there. To help describe that service, we created the idea of a plus plan, which splits the services into their individual entities, but shows them as being interlinked together. Each individual will have a bespoke plus plan, created by the team with the emphasis on the areas most important to that particular individual. It is tailored. This is the thing with it. So, the physio part. How does 10 hours of physio work? Surely physios are only important once you get injured. Well, the analogy is the Formula 1 car versus, say, a Ford Fiesta. Now, the Ford you get serviced once a year perhaps, and you only take it to the garage if it breaks. The Formula 1 car's got 20 mechanics around it, not because it won't go and it won't perform, it won't start, but because they're trying to make it go as fast. Physio in the top end, the elite end, requires me to be proactive, not reactive. I look at every movement pattern, every muscle, every joint, every tendon, every nerve, gait and functional movement analysis, flexibility, control, stability, neurodynamics, visceral mobility, how your liver and kidneys move, breathing patterns, spinal, pelvic function, all checked through in detail. And that develops that complete picture of you and your body. And that's just the first day. Over the next few days we work as a team on those areas of stiffness and tightness and poor function. We work with the strength and the control, the personalised exercises and drills and conditioning work with the rehab field, in the gym, in the pool. All of it is on site. There's an hour and a half of one-to-one physio daily, plus the soft tissue work and specific supervised exercise sessions. How often have you been to the physio and then not quite got those exercises right afterwards, not quite understood exactly how to do it? Well, we've got several hours every day to get that exactly right, but also then to develop and evolve that whole package for you. This intensive approach works on both those long-term issues and those long-term injuries that just won't go away, as well as sorting out a bespoke biomechanical and strength plan to take you on to that next level. And that's Performance Team Physio. The medical, though, is just as thorough. Pre-camp medical screening, bloods, cardiac, lung function, physical examination, all of that informs the whole flavour of the camp. You might have a long-term issue that needs an intensive work through to refine that resolution. You might, however, be generally quite healthy, but looking for those details to take you on to that next level. Have you ever trained really hard for a race only to get ill just at that last vital moment? All the results will be discussed with you in France and in an in-depth medical consultation to pinpoint the priorities for your general and your performance health, as well as injury and illness prevention and treatment. It's the ultimate MOT, and that's Performance Camp Medical.
Okay, so Mark described the plus plan and that we've divided our services that we're offering down into these 4 categories. He's covered off physio and sports medicine, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about coaching and nutrition. So I'm going to start by saying imagine if you knew the secrets to the success of the world's best athletes. Our coaching provision is two-pronged. It's a combination of both successful British international athletes and an experienced physiologist. Not only are we going to give training plans and advice, but we're going to train with the clients. You'll be running with an Olympian, you'll be cycling with an Olympian. You'll have an Olympian or an international athlete on the bike alongside you whilst you're running to monitor you in training and to give you feedback as you're running. So it's an opportunity to train with and also to spend time with Olympic athletes that you wouldn't normally have access to. And that's not just an athlete flying in and out of the camp for an appearance. It's every day, one-to-one throughout the camp. We'll talk to clients about the realities of fitting in their training around their busy lifestyle and then maximising the time that they do have available to themselves. And we'll answer any questions they might have about performing in a big race or how to deal with nerves, because we've done it on the biggest stage. I also want to make it clear that whilst we're happy and willing to create bespoke training plans from scratch, which may well be the best answer for a beginner athlete, we also acknowledge that a lot of experienced athletes will have an existing coaching setup, and we'd like to work alongside that coach to tailor our training with theirs. And we want to make it very clear that I'm very respectful of those existing relationships, because I'm an athlete too and I have a coach and I know how important that relationship is. As athletes, we've all made plenty of mistakes, and the real strength of our insight is that we can stop our clients from making those same mistakes. They don't have to work it all out over a career of 5 or 10 years. Our athletes are also incredibly skilled at analysing existing training programs and then making and suggesting the changes that they think are required. And they might be small tweaks to take an athlete from not quite making a team, or not quite running as fast as they think they can, to jumping to the next level. Or it might be a complete overhaul because what they're doing simply isn't working. The main thing though is that our athletes will be giving our clients confidence that what they're doing works. So I talked a little bit about the fact that we'll be training together, but it's worth at this point mentioning where we'll be training. We've got an incredible location in southwest France for all of our camps, and our athletes have been out and scouted training routes for every possible type of training that you could want to do. We've got rolling roads, rolling hills on a road surface for long rides. 2 stages of the Tour de France went through the local area. We've got a perfectly flat railway route that's been resurfaced, which is perfect for threshold runs, which are going to be sort of our most scientific type of training we do there, monitored by a physiologist. We've got beautiful gravel trails around the lake and a perfectly manicured cinder 400 metre track for interval sessions. We've got a 25 metre pool nearby and a lake for open water swimming. All of those things are either from the doorstep or a very short drive away. And then on site, we've got a bespoke gym that we've built, a rehab pool, and 2 landscaped 100 metre straights. One on the flat, so you can do the drills and exercises prescribed and watched over by the physio. And one on a hill for technique work. So we've got an incredible location and knowledgeable athletes with priceless experience. And the last piece of the puzzle in terms of coaching is our experienced physiologist. Georgie's here with us today, so she can answer any questions you might have later. But as a quick overview, what the athletes are going to have, what the clients are going to have, is access to cutting-edge sports science that Olympic athletes take advantage of every day. Those cutting-edge techniques are going to guarantee that our clients know their training is effective for them. We use VO2 max testing and lab-based lactate testing to make sure that they know that every training session they do is at the right effort level for them. It's in their right zone in terms of heart rate and pace. We're also going to carry out on-camp monitoring of clients, both in and out of training, and then the clients will be shown how to use that information to make sure that they recover and perform better. So that's coaching, that's what we offer in terms of coaching, but the last piece of our plus plans is nutrition. So imagine if you could fuel your training, racing, recovery, everyday life in the same way as the professionals. We're offering full board catering on site We have a professional chef who'll be cooking all our meals from locally sourced ingredients. And each meal will be prepared based on an individualised plan. That plan's prepared by a nutritionist who carries out detailed dietary analysis for each client, not just to inform the meal plans, but also to help the client better understand their own requirements. The nutritionist will work really closely with our doctor. Mark's already talked about the medical provision, and that's just to make sure that every aspect of their client's lifestyle, levels of training, and general health and wellness requirements are taken into account. On camp, we'll also provide recovery products, hydration products, and tailored snacks for the clients. And then they'll be able to be taught by our chef how to prepare delicious, nutritious meals back at home. And similarly, they'll have the opportunity, if they want to be taken to a local market or supermarket and shown how to choose the best produce and make educated decisions. So, hopefully you can see that Mark and I are passionate about what we're doing. We're passionate about Performance Team. And if you just take a look at the people that we've managed to bring together, that'll all be in one place for the people on the camps, then I think you'll realise why. We really believe we're offering something special, something unique, something exclusive, and something that no amateurs ever had access to before. It's the ultimate bespoke training camp for amateur athletes of all levels.